What's going on, guys? Welcome to the 10th episode of Class Act. Yes, lucky number 10. And today we're looking at two of my favorite classes, and I figured I'd do something a little bit different and show you guys some good classes instead of some crazy classes, because there's been a lot of requests for certain weapons, and obviously we're not going to have enough time to cover every single weapon in the game. So we're going to look at a couple of my personal favorite classes, and you can probably tell by what's on the screen, the AUG is one of my favorite classes. And I like to combo it with Scavenger and Sleight of Hand. I use Ninja just because it's more of a competitive class, and obviously Scavenger is going to keep you resupplied. And a lot of people don't like the red dot on the AUG. I personally prefer a red dot on all my assault rifles. It allows you to be a lot more precise. On the FAMAS, I don't really like the red dot as much. I know all the pros use the red dot on the FAMAS, but me personally, I like this setup right here. This is my go-to setup in any competitive game. If you're playing on the competitive playlist or anything like that. I jump down there and get the nice little triple spray. But a good sidearm is also pretty important to a certain extent, because you don't want to get caught in the reload. I probably could have reloaded there without having to get out my secondary, but every once in a while I like doing some work with my pistol because it's very rewarding. And my pistol of choice on any class like this is the CZ75. And you're probably like, why not Python? Well, the Python comes out a little bit slower, it seems like, than the CZ75. So it is nice to have that quick swap. Since you're not using dual mags, you don't reload quite as quick as you might if you're using dual mags with sleight of hand, but that's really not an issue I run into very often with this. And this is a really good class if you guys are just looking to play like a TDM or just have a lot of fun without playing too hard, I guess you could say. It's one of my try-hard classes, but I never really feel like I'm trying that hard when I use it, because the AUG gets a lot of I don't know. It doesn't really get the flack that the FAMAS does, or like the AK-74U, which is strange because it's actually one of the better assault rifles in the game. And I know that I've been criticized in the past for saying, this, and this is the best assault rifle in the game. Well, there's probably, based on your playstyle, a better assault rifle for everybody out there. The AUG is probably a little bit better than the FAMAS right now, just because of the aim down sight time is a lot quicker, and they didn't change the hip fire on it. That being said, it does have a quite weird recoil. It's kind of like a circle. It kind of juts back and forth, so it's a lot harder to stay on target than it is with the FAMAS, which is mostly an upward right recoil. So I don't know, it really just comes down to personal preference, guys. I know a lot of people got mad that I said that the Galil was one of the best assault rifles in the game, which I still believe that's true, and right there I get noob tubed. And probably the biggest weakness of this class is playing in objective type game modes and not having flak jacket on. It makes it really hard to jump on flags, which is kind of not my playstyle, because I like to jump on flags. So it's really hard for me to adjust to not using flak jacket. But once you play with this class for a while, you got to realize that you can't live from nades like you used to be able to. Once you get beyond that, you can do fairly well with this, and the ability to have all those stuns and flashbangs really helps out when you're trying to take a point. I personally like sleight of hand on this class. However, a good substitute for this would be Steady Aim Pro, especially if you like to rush around a lot. So if you subtracted Ninja, which is a perk that not a lot of people use just because the sound in this game is so poor, if you substitute maybe Marathon for Ninja, perhaps Steady Aim is a better idea to use. That's because Steady Aim allows you quicker aim down sights while rushing. So if you're more of an aggressive player, I would definitely suggest trying to substitute Steady Aim for Sleight of Hand, because you'll have pretty good results with that. I actually prefer Steady Aim over Sleight of Hand when I'm using a class that's more of a rushing base. Another alternative I could say is maybe put on dual mags instead of the red dot if you're using a class like that. That way you don't have to use Scavenger. You can maybe use lightweight, and in the same respect, you can get that quick reload every other reload. So there's a lot of alternatives that you can mix and match with a class like this. All classes are really the same when you break them down as far as assault rifles. You want to have a good amount of ammo, you want to have a good precision and whatnot. Okay, but here we're going to look at what I consider the class I go to when you make me mad. If you start noob tubing, if you start pounding our team, destroying us, this is the class I go to. It's kind of weird. It's AK-47 dual mags. The dual mags are for the more ammo, flak jacket so I don't die, but I use flashbangs in a law, and I also use tac mask. And you're like, flashbangs? Why flashbangs? Something about flashbangs just makes it a little bit easier to use on this class. I just like using flashbangs on objectives. What I'll often do is if they're taking an objective, I'll instantly throw a flashbang so that I know that it's going to go off above the objective. That way everybody on top of that flag is going to be blinded, and you can run in real easily and finish them off. That being said, you will get caught a lot off guard if you're throwing a flashbang around a corner. The guy will rush around a corner and kill you. So you are going to kind of have to realize that you can't throw them as fast as you can with like a stun. So there are some disadvantages, but like right here, I throw a flashbang right there. That guy gets flashed. He cannot see anything. Finish him off. So flashbangs do have their uses. This is one of the few classes that I actually do use flashbangs on, but it's probably one of my most used classes. I use the law mainly because it's very versatile. You can free fire it at people camping in corners, or you can shoot down spy planes. Usually I will always shoot down spy planes with it. A lot of people consider that a cheap tactic, but I personally, you know, as you see me get a nice little quad feed right there, I personally just shoot down spy planes just because I'm using a perk that makes me show up on radar. As far as kill streaks, you know what I like to use. I like to use spy plane, counter spy plane, blackbird. Sometimes I'll use napalm. I don't like kill streaks that are high risk, low reward type things like chopper gunners that can just get shot down. I would prefer to just use the blackbird, spy plane, stuff like that I know is going to help the entire team. That's what I use on my objective classes like this. But anyways, this is the first part of the finale of the class act for Black Ops. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's very quick, but it was precise and to the point. The next one will be the best SMG classes, or some of my favorite SMG classes. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. Be sure to rate, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.